to the show. Mark Arum in for Eric Erickson on a soggy Tuesday. First, the good news. Eric's wife's scan came back clean. Charles Thomas from The Revenant, who also works on the Mark Arum Show with me every night, is Eric's producer. And what is it, like every 3 months, I think, she has to go get scanned, and the scans came back clean today. So Eric took the day off. He does it every 3 months, and I'm happy to fill in. So I'm going to be with you now till 7 in the p.m., and we got a lot to talk about on this Tuesday. So that was the good news, that Eric's wife's scans came back clean. I do have some bad news, though, Jason Byers. Can you play a little taps for me here? This literally impacts no one listening right now, except for the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Deb Green, producer of the Mark Arum Show, my Keurig officially died.
Oh, my gosh, no.
Yeah, it was.
How old is it?
Not that old. And it's like one of those professional models,
I've seen it, yeah.
But it was it was whimpering this morning, and then I just tried to brew a cup, and it's completely...
Does everybody use it?
Yes.
Are they going to crowdfund for a new one?
I already ordered one new one this morning.
Okay.
So I went online and ordered a new one, knowing that it was on his last legs. I thought I could get another day or two out of it, but...
Sorry.
Because we are Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, it gets used 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's, I love Keurigs. It's nothing. The machine didn't do anything wrong. We just
overuse.
We just bang the crap out of that thing 24 hours a day.
Had some pretty bad weather recently.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad you brought up bad weather, because the radar, Storm Tracker 2 HD radar, green all across Metro Atlanta. So it's going to be another horrible ride home. We got you covered with traffic updates every 6 minutes. I believe we've got a red alert on the west side perimeter. So the rain. I'm walking Bosco today. Before I came into the show, Bosco is my 14-year-old love of my life, my beagle. Just the best dog ever. And I'm walking her, and it's the rain is soaked down the grass, and it's like squishy, and then it's windy a little bit, and the trees behind my house are these big old Georgia pines, and they're like swaying, and there are like 4 of them right behind my house, and I'm freaking out about these trees falling on my house. So we got my buddy Jimmy from Heath's Tree Service on the air real quick here to start off the show. Jimmy, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
I would imagine as a tree service guy, you're loving this wet weather, right? All these trees falling down and trees swaying in the breeze.
Well, actually, it is good for business, but it's difficult working conditions when it's this wet, and when the soil is saturated, it makes it difficult for my guys to be able to complete the work.
So there's no doubt I'm having you guys come out and check these trees behind my house, but are there any, because everyone listening right now on the radio has been dealing with just rain upon rain upon rain, and the ground soaked and the tree roots are loosened. Are there any telltale signs of what people need to know if they should be worried about a tree in their yard?
Sure, there are, Mark. When we get saturated soil conditions and the root plates, which is the root's, structural system that holds it in place, when they start to turn loose or go loose, they start to heave or lift. And so if you're looking at the soils around your tree and you see areas where soils are cracked or roots are exposed or the ground is actually lifting in those areas, that's a sign that the tree might be close to failure.
Is there a size, like any tree shorter than 7 feet, don't worry about, or anything like that? Any guidelines in the tree business when you should start worrying about a tree?
Well, for us, we look at what's a potential target for the tree to hit, whether that may be a house or a home or a business or the street or a power line. These are all things that we concern ourselves with, is the potential not only for, property damage, but, for personal injury.
And talking to Jimmy from our buddies at Heath's Tree Service here on Atlanta's Evening News, Mark Arum in for Eric Erickson. Is there a way we can schedule you to come out to our house, a website or anything? Jimmy? The tree fell down on Jimmy. All right. There you go. I'm freaking out, Chuck. Like, I've got these 4 pines behind my house, and they look like Longoria could push him over. Like right onto my roof. You can you can talk to me. It's all right, Chuck.
I didn't know if you want me to call him back.
You're allowed. Unlike Erickson, I'll let you talk on this show. Go ahead.
I didn't know if you want me to call him back.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Well, just Google Heath's Tree Service and find out. But anyway, I just wanted to. I'm going to have Jimmy come out and check it out because I'm freaking out. Like these trees are just sway. It's so much rain. just like pouring down, and so they're like on a creek bank, so the soil's already mushy anyway. Anyway, that was for my peace of mind. All right, I'm going to get them out. All right, I want to start off the show with this. We're going to get into the Trump commuting of the sentences of Blago. I guess that's what Eric would talk about, right? So we'll get into that.
Yeah,
but I want to talk about, when I say Sin City, Chuck, what do you think of?
Well, Vegas, of course.
Yeah, Las Vegas, right? But Atlanta, or more specifically Georgia, is climbing up the rank of full of sin. It shocked me too. So Wallet Hub came out with this new study, and they ranked the top 1 through 50 of the most sinful states. And I was shocked to find Georgia 5th on the list.
What? 5th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's top 5. Which
everybody going to the Pink Pony?
Well,
what's going on?
I don't know. So Dev found this report for me, and I was like, well, how is that possible? And they checked out 47 key indicators of immorality. So there's 47 categories that they judge. 47. You've knocked out 45 of them, Chuck, in your lifetime. There's 2 you're still waiting to do. But there's 47 of them. Violent crimes per capita, excessive drinking to the share of population, gambling disorders, like drug use, sex abuse, like all these things that are factor into this decision. And Georgia came ranked 5th in the nation on this. And let me give you the Georgia's rank in each subcategory, some of the subcategories. So anger and hatred, we ranked 14th in the nation, which is toward the top of the pile. Arkansas was number 1. So apparently people are just teed off 24/7 in Arkansas. Probably because people call them Arkansas all the time. But Georgia, that's still pretty high, though, 14th. Jealousy rank.
What?
Number 1. Georgia residents are the most jealous in the nation. I guess jealous, don't covet thy neighbor's wife kind of thing. Jealous of what your neighbor's got. Keeping up with the Smiths. Do you see that? Like...
Not in my neighborhood.
My whole neighborhood is that way.
Yeah, I was going to say, Alpharetta for sure, right?
Oh, please, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, you live in a secluded stone house,
I do.
So you don't get to see that. But Georgia ranks number 1 in the nation in jealousy. Florida, a tight second. So we're beating the Gators again, I guess. But that I think, boosted us to number 5. Excesses and vices rank. Georgia's 29th. So we're not that bad as far as vices are concerned. We're middle of the pack on vices. Greed, we are 45th, which kind of doesn't mesh with the jealousy rank. But I guess we're bottom of the totem pole when it comes to greedy people, which I think is a good thing, right?
I think so.
Unlike Greed is Good. What was that? Wall Street with Michael Douglas?
Yes.
Greed is good. We're 45th on that. Lust rank, hey-oh, Chuck, 6th. On the lust rank. I see that every day. Atlanta, well, I can't speak for, like, Valdosta. This is the state of Georgia.
Sure.
But Atlanta and the suburbs, definitely a lustful city, especially where Jason Byers lives out in Loganville.
Yeah.
Very
dirty.
Snellville, very lustful. Vanity rank, 11th. These are basically just the 7 sins, I think, we're going through here.
Well, that's why I was confused on the 47.
Yeah. We're, what did I say? Vanity rank. 11th on vanity rank. Laziness rank, sloth is evil. We are 12th. I think we're higher on that. I think Georgians are some of the laziest people in the world.
Just in this room.
And I'm counting, I raise my hand on that.
Absolutely.
I mean, especially in the summer months, no one wants to do anything in the summer months.
Miserable.
Yeah, exactly. So I admit the lazy rank. I thought we would actually be higher on the lazy rank. But, number 1 on jealousy, number 6 on lust, and number 11 on vanity. Now, if this was just Metro Atlanta, I concur on a lot of those. But I don't know what's going on in Columbus, Macon, Valdosta, Savannah. A lot of drinking in Savannah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Georgia ranks 5th in the nation in the as far as the most sinful states in America. Your thoughts on that? I'll give you the number 1 in each category, and just to see where we compare with the rest of the nation. I'm Mark Arum. I'm in for Eric Erickson. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK, on Twitter and Instagram, at Mark Arum. This show is 3 full hours. We'll talk about the Donald Trump commutations. We'll talk about the hawk I saw before the show. And we're going to play the acronym game. I saw a big hawk. It was very exciting. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK, on Twitter and Instagram, at Mark Arum. It's Mark Arum in for Erickson on Atlanta's Evening News.
Come on.
Not out of the woods yet weathers-wise. I'm looking live at Storm Tracker 2 HD radar. We got a massive line of thunderstorms leaving the Alabama border, stretching east all the way into Lithia Springs, and that's heading east into Atlanta. So this rush hour is gonna stink. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Mark Arum for Eric Erickson. Fear not, we got Kirk Mellish, Atlanta's only 24-hour meteorologist, radio meteorologist, and 24-hour traffic updates from the WSB Traffic Center. Atlanta, more generally, Georgia is the fifth sinniest state in the nation. The fifth most sinful state in the nation. Your thoughts on that? I didn't expect us to be. You think we're in the Bible Belt, Chuck? Especially the great listeners of the Eric Erickson Show. I mean, that's got to be a shock to you guys. Like, if you listen to 6 to 8, you'd be like, all right, yeah, I can see this is a sinful state.
Sure.
But the people listening now...
Yeah, 4 to 6.
4 to 6, they're church-going, they're God-fearing, you must be shocked that we're the fifth most sinful state in the union. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Eddie's in Buford. Eddie, welcome to the show. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Excellent. What's up?
It just puzzles me that it is a sinful state. I thought this is the Bible Belt.
That's what I'm saying.
It just puzzles me. I mean, I go to church, I do a lot of things, but puzzles me.
Now, if this was just Atlanta, I could see it. I would say Atlanta is more sinful than the rest of the state, right? The rural areas, the exurbs, if you will. But this is the whole state, and I understand most of the population is in Metro Atlanta. But that's crazy. You want to know the least sinful state in the union?
What's the least sinful state?
What do you think? I'm gonna take a guess. What do you think it's going to be?
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, please.
I'll just say North Carolina or New York.
New York is no way, right? It can't be New York. Let's see. New York's 20th. North Carolina is more sinful than New York at 14th. Chuck, give me a shot. Least sinful state in the union. What do you think?
The least?
Least sinful. 50th on the rank.
It's not Montana.
It is not Montana.
It's got to be like, I don't know, Utah or Idaho.
Oh, Utah's a hell of a guess. Not the answer, though. Jason Byers on the other side of the takeout window. Least sinful state in the union.
He stole mine with Utah.
Utah's 43rd.
23rd?
43rd.
Close.
Yeah. You guys are...
Seattle?
South Carolina.
Seattle, Washington?
Washington State is not there. It's Bernie Sanders' home state of Vermont.
What?
Yeah. They're just skiing and drinking maple syrup.
I guess.
That's the biggest sin. I've been to Vermont. They are...
Nothing happening.
Nothing going on
Nothing
there.
going on
Yeah,
there.
it's too cold to sin. Danielle's up on the Mark Arum Show. Hey, Danielle.
Hi. I just want to apologize for letting us slip down to number 6 on the lust meter.
Fifth. On the lust meter.
I got married.
So that took you off the lust meter. Yeah, that's...
Yes, we should have been up there at number 1, and I apologize to my team. I was doing everything I could. But,
when did you get married?
I married my husband in 2013.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, it says here in 2012 we were number 1. So that makes sense. So as soon as you went off the market, it's funny you say that because I'm getting married 200 days from today. And I'm very excited about this, right? And then I get Deb Green's show prep email, and she has, like, the top 100 things that married people miss about being single. And I'm like, what are you trying to do, Deb? You trying to put the kibosh on
I didn't think about
my
that.
impending nuptials? It's a pretty funny list, though, Chuck. You've been married, 6 years now?
4.
4 years. It's a pretty interesting list. Deb should not have sent it to me 200 days before my wedding, but it's the 100 things that married people miss most about single life. So we'll talk about that. And Georgia is the 5th most sinful state in the union. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, and a little bit proud. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Weather is ugly. Traffic is ugly. Appropriately, your fill-in host also ugly. Hey, guys, it is Mark Arum in for Eric Erickson. Good news in the Erickson household, though. Christy's scans, her 3-month scan checkup came back clean, so Eric will be back on tomorrow. I'm honored to fill in for the conservative Viking. I'm with you till 7 tonight. You can hear the Mark Arum Show Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. here on WSB. Again, it is really, really rainy out there. The traffic is awful, so please drive safe and keep it right here. Traffic updates every 6 minutes on Atlanta's Evening News. The number to reach the program, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Coming up on the program, we'll talk about President Trump's commutation of sentences of some notable folks. I know you want to get talk about that, but I wanted to start the show off with, I have this idyllic image, and maybe it's just I look at the world through rose-colored glasses, but I have this idyllic image of the state of Georgia. Maybe it was from that song, Georgia. Can you play that for me, Jason?
You see all these things about this Southern charm, and that's all you heard, Southern gentlemen.
And that's the reason why I am considered a damn Yankee. I moved here in '96, and I've never moved because I love it down here. I think Georgia's an amazing state. You've got the mountains, you've got the coast, you got the swamps. Chuck can hunt boar and deer, and I can go fishing. And the Southern hospitality and sweet tea and the cuisine and the kindness of the people. And this song certainly helped me craft my idyllic image of, Georgia. But I was shocked today when Deb Green showed me the survey from Wallet Hub, which actually puts out pretty legitimate and interesting surveys, that Georgia is the 5th most sinful state in the union. I would have said 46th, 44th at the most.
Yeah, definitely would put it in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. And number 5, by the way, Chuck, the top 5, let me give you the top 5. Nevada, number 1. I mean, you have Vegas. What are you going to do?
Right.
That's number 1. Number 2 is Texas. I'm sorry, Longoria is not here. I guess that illegals, is that part of it?
All go down by the border, let me tell you.
Is that part of it?
Maybe.
Fireworks? I don't know what they consider sinful in Texas. Florida's number 3. I would have said they were number 2.
Yeah, I would have.
Florida man just running wild. Yeah. Exactly there. Number 4, California.
Makes sense.
And number 5 is Georgia, just south of us.
Yeah, we beat New York.
I know. Number 6 is Tennessee. The hell's going on? Is it just the
lot of southern states in the top 10.
I don't understand this.
They're too close to Georgia.
Is it all the Georgia transplants going up there? Number 7, another southern state, Louisiana. I thought that would have been higher than Georgia simply because of New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious. You ever been on Bourbon Street?
No.
Sweet, fancy Moses. Number 8, Illinois. Rod Blagojevich. That makes sense. He was just commuted his sentence. Number 9, South Carolina. Number 10, Mississippi. 11, Alabama. So what's going on in the South?
I don't know.
The categories ranked, by the way.
The humidity.
Anger, it is the anger. Anger and hatred, jealousy, excess and vices, greed, lust, and vanity were some of the top. And laziness. Laziness, I can see. The laziest state in the union, number 1, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Just too hot. It's just too hot there.
Who was the 50th?
Vermont.
Oh, that's right. It was
Vermont was the least. The 5
Where'd
at the
Montana
bottom.
come in, just out of curiosity?
Montana was close to the bottom. It was like 39th.
Okay.
The bottom 5, New Hampshire, Maine, Idaho, Wyoming, and Vermont.
All cold states.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't lust in the cold.
You can't get in trouble. It's too cold. You stay in your house.
You can't be lazy. You got to chop wood and heat up your house. So your thoughts on that? I was shocked that Georgia was number 5 on that list. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. Traffic updates every 6 minutes. Smiling. I'm looking at the Triple Team Traffic Alerts app, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing, brother. Buddy's up on the Mark Arum Show. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Hey, how are you? I'm stuck in traffic on 285, of course.
My condolences, my friend.
It's all right. It's wet and it's slow, so it's. I just wanted to chime in on the Georgia thing. So my main questions are: which 100 liberals did they ask that hate the South and hate our way of life? Which 100 of those did they ask to rank the states?
No, so I think they quizzed Georgia, like 1,000 residents of each state. I don't know if they required them to be liberal or not.
So they looked at things like crime in the area, excessive drinking, gambling population, stuff like that is how they, and then they broke it up into the 7 sinful categories.
Okay,
but that's
so
what
it wasn't
it wasn't a poll of like, hey, have you done this?
Yeah. Okay, so they were looking at, so it's a statistic-based ranking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, excessive drinking, I could see that. Gambling, addiction, I could see that.
If you look down a little bit farther, it breaks it up even more.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah, so I don't think this was a conservative or a liberal thing. This was just based on raw data.
Yeah, based on who's biased.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's some.
The police report the violent crimes, so
there's some red states on the bottom: Montana and Utah and Wyoming and South Dakota and Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota. I mean, there's a lot of conservative states that are at the bottom of the list of the most sinful states. So I don't think it has anything to do with politics, but I appreciate the call. Amanda's in Beaufort. Amanda, welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm fine, Mark, and I'm also calling on the issue of sinfulness.
Okay.
It strikes me, I have a theory as to why so many southern states rank high. You mentioned that the survey includes asking 1,000 residents, so there is some self-assessment involved.
I just made that part up, to be honest with you. I did. Oh. That was totally made up. Deb Green, the executive producer, pulled this for us. This is all statistically based, Deb?
Yeah, it's things from like police reports, and most of that is how they put it together.
Okay, but let me just throw out my idea, too, because I think it might be relevant. We in the South have a concept of sin. It's the very reason that because we are in the Bible Belt. I mean, there are states
things that people do in Nevada, they might not consider sinful, but we would consider it sinful here in Georgia. That's what you're saying?
They don't even have the concept.
Understood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I knew a woman once who had kids in her car. And her child went to church, and he mentioned something about sin, and one of the other kids said, "What's sin?" He didn't even know the word. But you see, in the South, we have this as part of our culture, this idea that we are sinful creatures before God. We have a humility before God, whereas states like Vermont that are extremely secular and, as the other caller said, liberal, do not have this idea. They see the human.
But I mean, it all depends on your definition of sin. And I think we can generally agree on most things that are sinful. But I mean, look, like Utah. I mean, Utah's a very red state, despite what you think of Mitt Romney at the current moment. But and a very big population of Mormons, and certainly they've got their definition of sin. But again, I misspoke. This wasn't a survey. This was based on statistical data. But I agree with your point. What some might consider a sin in Georgia, those in New York might not consider that a sin.
Right, or they don't even have the concept of sin.
Well, I would hope the majority of Americans have at least the concept of sin. Whether they do anything to that or with that, that's a different story. Tammy's up next on the Mark Arum Show. Hey, Tammy.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Actually, it's penny, like the copper coin. That's okay.
Hammy?
No, penny, like the copper coin.
Penny.
Penny.
Like 1 cent.
Oh, okay, I got you. Sorry, Chuck wrote Tammy. Hello,
that's
Penny.
Okay. Well, that's what I said. Anyways, the answer is very obvious. Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, you have all those transplants from the sinful Midwest down here.
All those Ohioans and Wisconsinians that are coming down here.
And Michiganders and Illinois and like that.
I don't know. I think it's a reflection of the SEC tailgating. I think that might be the biggest creation of sin in the Southeast is all those football tailgates.
That could be it, too, but if you talk to anybody from Atlanta, they're not from Georgia.
Yeah, that's true. Present company included. Except Jason Byers. Where are you from originally, Jason?
Decatur.
Michigan.
Florida. You're saying Jason's from Michigan. You're saying where are you from? Florida?
Born in Decatur.
Oh, Decatur. I thought you said Gator. All right, so we got one native Atlanta. 25% of the Mark Arum Show tonight is from Metro Atlanta. We'll come back. More of your calls. Georgia, the fifth sinful state, Arum. State, the fifth most sinful state in the union. Your thoughts next. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Traffic updates every 6 minutes. Mark Arum at your beck and call tonight till 7 in the p.m. A new study ranks Georgia as the fifth most sinful state in the union. I was shocked. How about you? Clarence joins us in Decatur, where it's greater. Clarence, welcome to the show, buddy.
Roger that, Marky Mark. Haven't talked to you in a while, man.
What's going on, sir?
Hey, besides that, because we have people coming from all different states, from north, south, east, and west, ATL, because, hey, there's opportunity. And then, they're bringing their mindset and everything else that comes along with them.
So I think I understand that. I mean, definitely a transplanted city is the ATL. And it also reminds me of, Chuck, maybe you saw this when you went to college. Well, you went to school in Montana, right?
Yes.
I'm sure not a lot of out-of-staters went to school at your school, did they?
A
lot, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So they have this thing called the freshman phenomenon. I don't know if you know about this, Clarence, is where people graduate from high school and they go to college and it's a chance to start anew, right? And you'd be like, well, I was the band geek in high school. I'm going to become the party guy in college. And maybe we're seeing that in Atlanta where someone moves in here from Ohio and they were kind of like laid back and kind of off the beaten path, and they get to Atlanta like, I'm going to let it rip now. I'm letting my sin out.
I mean, I could tell you growing up in a small Midwestern town, I didn't want to live in Chicago because it was too close.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to a big city that had a lot of sports teams and opportunities. And I'm like, Atlanta looks like a cool town.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose to move here.
I came here because of the food.
Clearly.
I came down to visit. I was like, oh, my God, biscuits and gravy. My. But I think a lot of that is, so if, like Deb mentioned, it's too close. Like if I moved to New York City, I would be surrounded by friends and relatives, and I couldn't really be myself because I'd always be worried like, oh, I'm going to run into Aunt Audrey or Uncle Marty on the corner, and they're going to see me acting a fool. So let me move to Atlanta where I'll be out of harm's way, and I can do what I want. So maybe that's part of it. PJ's in beautiful Ella J. What's going on, PJ?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, man?
What's up?
Well, interesting concept here, and I just think it's there's so many components, you know what I mean, involved with coming to that conclusion. Like I kind of find it interesting that everybody's going off of this as fact. I mean, there's so many things that could play a part in that. Like, I mean, I thought at first with the consensus, what she said, it's not that, but if it was, it could be that we're more honest down here, about what we did or what we didn't do.
Yeah, no, I Gary, I misspoke. This is based on statistics only, not personal opinion. Yep. What I do agree with is the jealousy rank of Georgia #1. I think this is people in this town. I can't speak for Valdosta, but very, very jealous folk. More of your calls when we come back. 404-872-0750 on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. In for Erickson, Atlanta's Evening News.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome back to the show. 510, 59 soggy degrees on Peachtree Street. I am not Eric Erickson. I am Mark Arum, filling in for the Conservative Viking with you till 7 in the p.m. Good news from the Erickson household, though. Christy Scans came back clean, so she is doing well. Sad news there. You heard from Chris Chandler in the news. The body of a missing Georgia college student found in Crawford County today. 23-year-old Anitra Gunn vanished Friday in a neighborhood north of Fort Valley. In Fort Valley, Georgia. So sad news. Her body was found. That's tough to hear. I hate that. I hate those stories. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to lighten the mood up a little bit with Would You Rather with Lil Sanjay, a fun game you can play along in the car. And speaking of games, what are we giving away, Deb Green, in the 6 o'clock hour?
I've got tickets to a 90s extravaganza of music, like Bare Naked Ladies, Gin Blossoms, Toad the Wet Sprocket.
That's like my college playlist right there.
Really?
My non-hip-hop college playlist right there.
Junior high dances.
Who sang Cannonball?
Oh, the Breeders.
The Breeders.
Yeah.
To throw that in that concert, and I'm definitely
okay.
Cannonball. Anyway, we were talking about this Wallet Hub ranking that came out. And again, let me. This is all statistically based. It's not opinions. It's not politically biased. This was based on data, on statistics, hard facts, and it rated the cities or the states 1 through 50, which is the most sinful state. No surprise. Number 1 was Nevada. No surprise that Florida was near the top of the list. What did surprise me, however, Deb Green, producer of the Mark Arum Show, was that Georgia was ranked 5th, because I have this idyllic notion that Georgia is just heaven on earth.
It's all sweet tea.
It is all sweet tea, exactly. And that kind of surprised me. Breaking down the categories, Georgia was 14th in anger, number 1 in jealousy, number 29 in vices, which is good. That means we're not very vice-heavy. Gambling and, I guess, Chuck said porn addiction is probably on there.
Excessive drinking is on there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, excessive drinking.
That's more mine.
Chuck's bringing that number up. Greed, 45th. That's great. We're not very greedy. I can see that. 6th for lust. That's bad. Vanity, 11th. I would have thought actually would have been higher. And 12th for laziness. So I'm just shocked that Georgia is 5th in the state. 5th state as far as the most sins are concerned, according to the survey. Your thoughts at 404-872-0750. Barry joins us on the Mark Arum Show. What's going on, Bear?
Hey, it's your buddy Barry from Brownston. How you doing, buddy?
My man, it sounds like it's raining wherever you are.
Man, I'm on 85 North trying to get my big butt to Jackson County. So, yeah.
Well, be safe, brother. Be safe.
Hey, I think the reason the South's up there so much is because of college football. I mean, you've got drinking, gambling, hate and throwing a little lust at every tailgate you got, man. So, I mean.
You've got anger. So let's say a Georgia-Florida game. You go down to Jacksonville for the Georgia-Florida game. You got anger because if your team loses, you're really angry, so that makes sense. Jealousy if your team loses, right? Or your team's the other team's cheerleaders are more attractive. Vices, there's quite a bit of drinking, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Greed, not much greed down there. Not much greed in Jacksonville for the Georgia-Florida game. Lust, I've been lustful at a Georgia-Florida game or two. It's like they take the most attractive co-eds from each school, and they only allow them to come in. I remember we used to do the broadcast down there live, the pregame show, and it was so amazing, Chuck, that an average girl would catch your eye. Like, we'd be doing the broadcast, me and Jay Black and Tony Schiavone, and like an average-looking girl would walk by and be like, whoa, check that out.
And you're like, this wasn't when I was in school.
This is crazy. That's how amazing it was down there. I don't know if it still has. Vanity, 11th. Yeah. Laziness, 12th. No one's lazy at Georgia-Florida game. You're out there drinking till 3 in the morning, and then you're up the next day making sure you get to the game on time. Thanks, Smiling, at WSB Storm Tracker Radar. We're not out of the woods yet now. There's more storms coming out from Birmingham heading toward the Georgia line. So this is going to be something that's going to impact you throughout the night and tomorrow morning. So make sure you check in with us for Atlanta's Morning News at Scott Slade starting at 4:30 a.m. Robin is in Canton. Robin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I wanted to know on the laziness, first of all, as a Georgia girl, I could see a little bit of laziness, especially in the southern rural areas. It's almost like they have their own timetable.
Understood.
And things move a little slowly. But I lived in West Virginia for a while, and to me, that is the laziest state in the nation.
Well, that's a great call. Let me see where they fall on the laziness. West Virginia. Well, I'll tell you the least lazy state, according to this, is Alaska. That makes sense, right? Like you need to not be lazy to survive.
You gotta have food, clothing, shelter. Yeah.
Look at you, West Virginia, number 3 on the laziness scale. Good call. Good. Why were West Virginians so lazy? I picture coal miners and the coal miner's daughter out there in the coal mines. Why were they lazy in West Virginia?
I think the life is very hard up there, and if you don't have the chutzpah to get out there and get going, then you just draw a check from the state. The first place I heard this joke, kindergarten teacher was asking her students, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And the kid said, "I want to draw like my dad." And she said, "Oh, you want to be an artist?" "No, I want to get a check from the government every month."
Fantastic. Well, good. I would never have thought that West Virginians were lazy. Again, I based all my knowledge from either driving through the state, which is very beautiful, by the way.
Yeah,
rolling hills, gorgeous. I actually went on a college visit to the University of West Virginia when I was in high school to check that out. And coal miner's daughter. I don't even think that was West Virginia, right? That was Butcher Holler, Kentucky. Chuck, I'm proud to say that North Dakota, the 47th laziest state. But you're not from North Dakota.
I'm not.
You're from Montana.
Enough,
42nd. I'm sorry, Chuck.
It's close.
42nd. Connecticut, my home state, 28th. As far as I would think, Connecticut folks are lazier than that. We're not really hardy stock in Connecticut. You know, it's like a lot of investment bankers, insurance agents. I guess you have to not be lazy to be those people. Tom is up next on the Mark Arum Show. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, first thing, if you get somebody to go down and drag the Everglades and open every container in the Miami port, you're going to find out that Florida's number 1.
In
number
what?
Number 2.
In what? Everything?
In everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love my state personally. I think the only thing good that comes out of Atlanta is 85 North, but we do have a lot of buttholes in this state. And I think it's because everybody's gotten a little bit too big for their britches with how much we've been succeeding and going on into it, and the jealousy inspires a whole lot of avarice and bad decision-making.
Give me an example.
All right, I'm having to move to the Florida that I hate the most because I need to be closer to my daughter, who my ex cheated on me twice, ran off with, held up the adoption of my son through a defect.
Oh, my gosh.
For more money, yeah. I'm a network engineer.
Did the adoption go through?
It will be going through here in the next couple of months.
Oh, good, man.
15-year-old, he's a great kid. He's the best big brother my daughter could ask for.
That's awesome.
But no, there's your example, and you go into it. There was a second affair that was had, and her family even lied at the behest of her lawyer so she could keep the amount of child support she got. So, yeah, we've got some issues of jealousy and greed here.
That's a sad. Well, at least I'm glad the adoption is going to go through. People that adopt, man, you have a special place in heaven. You have a special place in heaven. The people that adopt, Chuck, there'll be a little sliver in heaven because you adopted a dog from Thailand, a 3-legged dog. You'll get a little taste of it. But the people that adopt kids, you're awesome. We'll come back more of your calls. 404-872-0750 on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB. As predicted, wet, ugly rush hour. Some breaking news up in Sandy Springs. Mike Shields all over it, posting some video on Twitter, some police activity there. We'll get back to that in just a second. Your calls now. Georgia, the 5th most sinful state in the union. Jerry's up on the program. Hey, Jerry, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Driving home in the rain in the North Georgia mountains.
Ooh, beautiful. Beautiful that you live up there.
Yeah, bear with me for a minute. It has something to do with the topic for your show, but it's not going to seem like it at first. But I was in a meeting today, and we were debating on whether or not should we release some estimated values to a regulatory agency, and the argument came up that we should not because once we had the actual values and reported the actual values, we would never, ever be able to kill the estimated values that we reported. And
let me stop you right there, Jerry.
Right now, what you're going through right now with the survey versus statistics is a prime example of why you got to be careful. So thank you for a good example I'm going to use tomorrow at work. Appreciate it.
Okay. A lot of that went over my head because Jerry has a real job. And I've never had a real job. Did you catch that, Chuck? You worked construction for a little bit. Did you catch what he was saying?
No, Jerry bored me when he started talking.
No, I just didn't. I'm ignorant. I just didn't understand. But he said
he's taking something serious, and thinking he's being smart.
All right. Well, it sounded smart.
I'm sure it did to him.
All right. To me, it did. Matthew's up next on the Mark Arum Show. Hey, Matthew, what's going on, buddy?
Driving home too as well.
Bless your heart, my friend.
Well, I just have a little theory there, and a lot of those states that you mentioned there, including us, I think that maybe a theory would be maybe it's more likely for you to get caught and prosecuted here in those states than other states.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
And so our statistics are probably going to be higher and more accurate because I think you're going to be more likely to take these crimes seriously in these states. Like Texas is a big...
Now, that is a theory that could adjust the statistics. I like that. Maybe a higher conviction rate here in Georgia and Tennessee and some of the states there. All right, that's a valid theory. All right, we're done with this, Deb Green. You see this? I'm done with this topic. I'm ripping it up. When we come back, we're going to have some fun. Lil Sanjay is going to join us with Would You Rather, and I still got some tickets to give away. We still got a game. Oh, we got so much fun on your really, really wet, crappy ride home. We'll come right back on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. In for Eric Erickson. It's Atlanta's Evening News, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. Rain everywhere, and it's making you want to drink. Hey, guys, it's Mark Arum back with you. In for Eric Erickson, Atlanta's Evening News, and more wet stuff all the way out west at the Alabama borderline. So we're not even close to being done with this. We'll give you weather and traffic updates throughout the program. Traffic, of course, every 6 minutes. And a reminder to drive with your headlights on when it's raining. But someone on Twitter reminded me, do not drive with your hazard lights on when it's raining. That's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Drive me nuts.
Yeah, don't do that. So headlights, yes. Hazard lights, no.
Can I turn my fog lights on? I have double lights underneath to help me see. Those okay?
Yeah, if it's foggy.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
I'm just saying it helps with a little bit of visibility.
All right. Good question, Chuck, actually. That's a good question. 404-872-0750. You know what, Jason, let's play a little Would You Rather with Lil Sanjay.
It's time for Would You Rather with Lil Sanjay.
He is the guru, the soothsayer, the truth seeker, the asker of unanswerable questions. He joins us every Tuesday and Thursday on the Mark Arum Show. He is big Mother Blanking Sanjay with Would You Rather. How are you, Sanj?
I'm doing well, man. Just got back into town this afternoon.
I saw you're out west. Was it Colorado? Is that where you were?
Yep. Yeah, out in Colorado, getting a little bit of skiing in before I just get buried with taxes.
Do they allow you on the adult slopes at the ski resort, or do you have to do the bunny slopes?
Yes.
You do
Although I finally found somebody that's right at my skill level, my 8-year-old.
Your 8-year-old son. I
fantastic.
have never been skiing in my life. I grew up within 20 minutes of 3 ski resorts, and I never went once in my life. It's just
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I don't miss it. My mom was like, "No, it's too expensive. You're not going skiing. Get out of here. Go in the basement and play with cardboard boxes." That was my anyway. I should share this with not on the air with everyone else.
Yeah, that's a little too personal.
Yeah. All right. So what Sanjay is going to do is ask us questions. We're going to answer them here in the studio. I want you to play along in your car. What is the first question, Sanjay?
All right, number 1, would you rather never be able to smile again or have to fight off a childish grin like the giggles so often it even happens inappropriately?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. So I'm always stone-faced. I'm never smiling. Like Deb says something hilarious, I can't smile. Sanjay?
Exactly.
All right.
Yes,
Or I just giggle at the wrong time, like
when you're on the air talking about the wrecks on 85.
Yeah, like fatal crash.
Yeah.
Like I guess the first one.
Wow.
No,
I don't know if I want to. I don't want to know that mark.
I know that mark would be really, but the other mark would be really inappropriate. I think that'd get me in trouble. Laughing like I don't know. Either way, I think they'd lock me up eventually. I'm going with the first one. Deb?
So I have to giggle or not smile? That's basically what you're saying?
Yeah. Giggle inappropriate times or never smile.
I don't want to be giggling, and women spend a lot of effort making their face not move.
Yeah.
So I'd be okay with that.
You got a great smile though. My smile is just it's like it's average. Chuck?
I can't giggle as a man, so I'm not.
You're not going to do that?
That's just ridiculous.
I would want to see that actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it was like you just laughed at inappropriate times,
that's
but
different.
Giggle,
not giggle.
I can't giggle as a man.
So after Erickson's 9 to noon show, if you go back to the Erickson / Low T Chuck office,
yeah, it's by my office.
They have giggle fights in there, tickle fights. And,
that's why the door's closed.
Yeah, and Chuck giggles like a little. Yeah. Anyway, Jason Byers on the other side of the takeout window.
I already kind of laugh at inappropriate times,
so you'll do that one?
That's fine with me.
All right. Before we get to the next question, you get traffic updates every 6 minutes. Oh, smiling. I'm not anxious to drive home in this mess. What's going on, brother? See, it would have been inappropriate for Smiling to giggle there, so that's why I'm taking the first one. All right, next question, Sanjay. Let's move this along, buddy. Sanjalina.
Tyson,
go ahead,
Would you rather fight Mike Tyson in his prime for 60 seconds one time, or have his voice and lisp permanently, bless his heart?
Voice and lisp. At least I'm alive. He would. Mike Tyson in his prime would murder me. If he knocked out the Spinks guy in 8 seconds, he would knock out me in 4 seconds. So give me the lisp.
I'll take the knockout.
Yeah?
He'll be over so fast.
Yeah, your life would be over so fast,
I'll
Deb
take
Green.
the
He'd
knockout.
shoot you to the moon. Chuck.
No, give me the lisp.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to get punched by Mike Tyson.
Forget his prime. Mike Tyson now.
I want to get punched by him now.
Yeah, no. I'd find something to do with my life with that lisp.
Lisp all day.
Yeah,
He'd kill me.
Deb Green's the only one with cojones.
Yeah,
She's like, give it to me. Next question, Sanjay.
All right, would you rather have an undo button for real life that you can only use once a year, or have a one-time opportunity to change something physically about yourself?
So I have that undo button. It's called the dump button here. So I can do that as many times as I want in an hour. And what was the second one?
The second one is to have the one-time opportunity to change something physically about yourself.
Well, yeah, one time. I'll do that. There's a lot. I just have to think about what's the one thing I would want to change about me physically, because there's a long list. The nose, probably the nose, yeah. Like Sanjay's doing the polite cough. The nose. But I'm fat also, Sanjay. I'd like to be ripped one time in my life. Like, just be able to take off my shirt and just yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I have to think about it. Probably my nose, but maybe get in amazing shape.
Yeah, there's so much that I would change. I could only pick one thing. I'll still go with that.
You still go with that?
Still with that.
Chuck?
No, give me the dump button.
Yeah, you want the life dump button.
Yeah.
All right, the undo button.
Yeah, definitely.
Jason Byers.
Love the dump button. Give me that.
Yeah, you want that? All
Every
right.
day.
Because you guys are, handsome and
I'm
manly,
all right.
masculine. Yeah. Anyway, next question, Sanjay.
All right, would you rather do it and regret it, or not do it and regret it?
Do it and regret it. not doing it and regretting it is worse than doing it and regretting it.
Yeah, just go through with it and regret it.
Just do it and you got the experience.
Always do it and regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it and regret it.
Okay. Next question, Sanjay.
All right, last one. Would you rather live the rest of your life without salt or without sugar?
I've got a massive sweet tooth, but I love some good salty stuff too. I'm dumping sugar. I'm going to dump sugar. There's too many savory dishes that I love.
I think I eat enough sweet, like naturally sweet stuff that would be okay for me.
Yeah.
So I'll dump the sugar.
All right, Chuck?
Yeah, I cannot live without salt.
Yeah.
Get rid of the
that
sugar.
Salty elk jerky you
Yeah,
make in your
I can't
basement.
put sugar on elk meat.
Jason Baez.
Dropping the sugar.
Yeah, unanimous. That's
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta have
I
salt.
love sweet treats. I mean,
I do too. But life without salt?
Yeah, with salty foods like a good chicken parm sub. Oh my goodness.
Life would be too bland without salt.
Yeah, I guess you just dump them in. Did you see, by the way, not to get into Johnny Kilboss's thing, but Burger King is launching a French fry sandwich in New Zealand.
The Chip Buddy. Yeah, that's big in England, right? The Chip Buddies.
It's Sanjay, it's a bun with French fries. It's plant-based with French fries, ketchup, and mayo in between two buns. It's just a French fry sandwich. I don't know about
the
that.
Impossible Burger.
Yeah, but we couldn't have that though if we gave away the salty stuff.
Yeah.
Sanjay, believe it or not, is the official accountant of the Mark Arum Show. Find him on Facebook, Brass Tax Accounting or Brass.tax. Tax season's here. Sanjay's back from the slopes, ready to do your taxes. Brass.tax. Sanjay, always a pleasure, buddy.
My pleasure, too.
All right, we're going to come back. We'll update your weather and traffic, and then we'll open up the phone lines again. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Arum in for Erickson on WSB. Sad news from the world of Hollywood. Janet Dubois, who played the lovable neighbor Walona on the TV show Good Times, found dead today, according to TMZ. She played Janet Jackson's mom or aunt, or I don't know what the situation was there. She was her caretaker. You remember Good Times, Chuck? With Florida and James Evans, Jimmy Walker. Walona dead today at the age of 74, I believe.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, survived by her 3 kids. She won 2 Emmy Awards. Started her acting career on Broadway with Sammy Davis Jr. and Louis Gossett Jr., 2 of the best juniors available. Dead at the age of 74. No cause of that. I don't know if you knew this. She was Walona on the Good Times, but she also sang the theme song for the Jeffersons. How about that? Oh, that's sad. Rest in peace, Janet Dubois. We'll take this to the break. When we come back, we're going to play the Acronym Game, giving away some really cool concert tickets. If you want to play the Acronym Game, call now, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk, on Twitter and Instagram, at Mark Arum. News, weather, and traffic next. Supersized edition of the Mark Arum Show continues at 6:08. What's up, everybody? Well, I know what's up. Traffic and weather is what's up. A massive thunderstorm rolling out toward Villarica Way right now. Heads up on I-20. You're about to get smushed like a grape. That's something you can smush, right, Dad?
Absolutely.
Yeah, smush a grape. Coming up, I got a wildlife story. Chuck's the wildlife guy on the show, but I got a wildlife story to tell you. Nice. But first, we're going to play a little game here. Deb Green's got some tickets to give away. We like to call it the Acronym Game. Acronyms, by the way, for those that don't know, are explain an acronym, Deb Green.
An abbreviation of words using letters, so, like cream.
Cream. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. All right, let's meet our contestants. Jeff is in Snellville. Jeffrey, welcome to the show. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself, buddy.
Well, I'm 44 years old, and I work for UPS down in Pleasantville.
Well, man. All right, Jeffrey. Jeff's going to play the Acronym Game. Let's see. You're going to play against Andrew. Andrew, welcome to the Mark Arum Show. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm 34 years old, and I am an EMT in the Atlanta area.
Oh, thank you for your service, my friend. That's a tough job, buddy. I really appreciate what you do. All right, so here's the deal. Yeah, Andrew. You got to quiet the kids down. Unless you're trying to save someone's life right now. Are you saving someone's life?
No, I'm not. I'm at home.
Okay, because if you have to do CPR, we can pause the game and save someone's life. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you an acronym, and you guys have to tell me what it means. For example, AKA, Jason Byers. What does AKA stand for?
Also known as.
Also known as. So it's a pretty simple game. You guys got it?
Yes.
Got it.
All right, here we go. Jeff, the first one is for you. ASAP. ASAP. What does that stand for? ASAP.
ASAP. I'm not sure.
ASAP. Andrew, you want to steal this one?
Oh, yes, I do know.
All right. Wait. Who's saying that? Jeff.
Jeff.
All right. Go ahead, Jeff.
As soon as possible.
That's right. All right. You almost lost it there. You get the point. In this game, you get to steal if your opponent doesn't get it. So, all right, here we go. Andrew, the acronym game on the Mark Arum Show. BRB. BRB. What does that stand for?
Be right back.
Be right back is correct. This game is so easy. You guys are killing it. All right, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's from Snellville, by the way, where everyone is somebody. The initials are, the acronym is DIY. DIY. What does that stand for? Hey, no whispering to your wife, by the way. I hear you whispering over there, Jeffrey.
DIY.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
You're so getting help. Yeah, all right. Chuck, are we going to disqualify him or no? Chuck says maybe. All right, Andrew, you're up. Jeff, your wife has to help Andrew on this one too then. OTC. What does OTC stand for, Andrew?
Over the counter.
That is correct. I didn't hear anyone helping Andrew there. All right, here we go, Jeff. You got to answer quick. All right, no cheating. What does NASDAQ stand for? Actually, go ahead and ask your wife on that one. I don't think she's getting that one. NASDAQ.
NASDAQ.
Go
Something
ahead.
to do with the stock market, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
National something.
National. Go ahead, ask your wife out loud. I want to know if she knows this one.
I don't know if she knows it all.
I wouldn't have known this one either. Andrew, you want to steal that one? NASDAQ, you have an idea what that means?
I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
National Association of Stocks and Corporations.
That's pretty good, but no. National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotation. Holy smokes.
Okay. No idea.
I would not have gotten it. You learn something every day on the Mark Arum Show. That's what, let me say it again. National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotation. That's what NASDAQ stands for. All right, you're up, Andrew, taking the lead here if you get this one. The acronym is LASER. LASER, what does that stand for?
No idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't know neither. Jeff, you want to steal this one? LASER.
Laser, I have no idea either
All right.
on that one.
Chuck, you're a smart feller, engineering degree or something like that. You know what LASER stands for?
I've never heard of that.
Do you know what it is, Jason?
Light amplitude, and I don't remember the rest of it.
Nah, you got one word right. Light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation.
Oh, good grief.
Deb Green making this game hard. The acronym
They get
game.
harder as they go down. I thought everyone knew laser. I learned that in high school.
Well, if I learned it, I forgot it. All right, end of round one of the acronym game. What's the score, Deb Green?
All right, Jeffrey 2, Andrew 1.
This game not sponsored by anybody yet. We're trying to find a sponsor for it. Maybe Smile and Mark McKay and the Triple Team Traffic Alerts app will sponsor the acronym game. What's going on the road, Smilin'? FLP. Smilin' is a front runner for star of the show, by the way. That is an inside joke and is very funny. All right, who's up, Deb Green, in the acronym game?
It is Jeffrey's turn.
All right, Jeffrey, here we go. You and you alone. You're a man. You better not ask for help on this one. You ready?
I got it.
The acronym is WD-40. WD-40. What does that stand for?
WD-40. Well, I know it's liquid.
Yeah?
Penetration liquid. I'm not sure.
Penetration liquid is close, but no. You want to steal this one, Andrew? You know what WD-40 stands for?
I do want to steal it, but I have a score discrepancy. I've answered 2 correct, Mark.
Oh, what is? Yeah, Andrew definitely has 2.
Over the counter and be right back.
Yeah, I have it 2-2 as well. You're fine. You're absolutely right. All right, steal
Deb
it,
Green's
Andrew.
Trying to throw me under the bus.
Deb Green. Apparently, Deb Green is Jeff's niece and wants Jeff to win the tickets
There
tonight.
you go.
I don't know WD-40.
We know of it, though, right? But I would water displacement 40th attempt. So basically, I think I know the backstory on this. The inventors of WD-40, this was their 40th attempt to try to come up with this product, and it finally worked to their satisfaction. So there you go, WD-40. All right, Andrew, you're up. The acronym is Time Magazine, Time. What does that stand for? This is a tough one.
I do not know.
Yeah, these are tough, Deb Green. Jeez Louise.
Everyone knows Time Magazine.
Yeah, but I don't know what it stands for.
This is the educational segment.
The International Magazine of Events. Time Magazine. The International, yeah.
I didn't even know that was an acronym.
Yeah, I don't even think anyone's getting the rest of these. Holy smokes. All right, Jeff, you can ask your mama, your sister, your brother on this one. Do you guys have SMART goals where you work? You guys have SMART goals?
Smart goals?
Yeah.
I think so, yes.
All right, what does SMART goals mean? You're not going to get this. No offense, Jeff. I have SMART goals, and I wouldn't have known what it meant.
Smart goals. I'm not sure. I mean, safety. I don't know.
That was a good guess. Andrew, do you want to steal? You don't know this, do you?
I do. Yeah, I have these at my work.
All right, what are they? SMART goals.
Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based.
Very close. I'm going to give it to you, yeah. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound goals. So we're supposed to do these every year, like with our direct manager. And the last time I did them was 2012. So I don't think they're...
I get to do them every year.
Do you have to do them every year still?
Yes, I do.
The SMART goals. All right, here we go. Andrew, the Acronym Game. The acronym is ZIP, as in zip code. What does ZIP in zip code mean?
Do not know that one.
Yeah. Do you want to steal this one, Jeffrey?
Can you repeat it?
Sure. It's, for the cheap seats, zip code. What does the zip in zip code mean?
Not sure.
Yeah. Zone Improvement Plan Code. Deb does not like you guys. All right. Here we go, Jeff. If you get this one, I'm going to throw in an extra $20. You ready? IMAX. What does IMAX stand for, Jeff?
What is IMAX?
Yeah.
Something to do with theater. I know that.
Yeah, something to do with theater. Andrew, you want to steal this one? IMAX?
Image maximum.
That
film?
is right. Image Good job, Andrew. Wow.
A reasonable deduction. You can work it out.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, Andrew, you've already won the game, but we'll try one more. CAPTCHA. You know those things where you're online and it says CAPTCHA. You gotta, to confirm you're not a robot, you gotta click on the pictures or whatever. You know what CAPTCHA stands for?
No, I don't know that one.
Jeff?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it means.
Jeff, you want to take a shot? CAPTCHA?
CAPTCHA?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm not sure.
Completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. Deb Green, why? Why are you so mean, Deb Green?
I was trying to make them harder as they went down the list so that people could learn something. Most people are like, I didn't even know that was an acronym.
It's not her. It's the weather.
We'll blame it on the weather? That'd be the first couple were easy, and Deb Green.
All right, fine. They'll all stick to 3 letters next time.
No, they were good.
What
Just
about
make them
BYOB?
BYOB,
We
Deb
used that
Green.
one already.
All right. We're giving them both tickets, awards, prizes, whatever.
I guess.
We're getting them Dundies. Hang on the line, guys. I'm going to put you on hold. Andrew, congrats to you and your wife for doing well in the game. And Jeff, I think you played that straight up, so good job. You're the official winner of the Acronym Game. Don't hang up. Chuck's going to get some info. What did they win, Deborah Green?
Tickets to go check out Bare Naked Ladies, Gin Blossoms, and Toad the Wet Sprocket June 4th at Cadence Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park.
God, if you're my age, that's the concert of a lifetime right there. Thank you, Deb Green, for making that game really, really tough. We'll come back with your calls on this rainy Tuesday, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB. Welcome back to the show. Excuse me, I should have done that before I opened the mic. 626, 56 degrees on Peachtree Street. Mark here, I'm with you for another 34 minutes. And then at 7 o'clock, we are going to air a special traffic show with Doug Turnbull, Smiling Mark McKay, and Veronica Orell. Very apropos tonight because it's talking about Atlanta weather and its impact on traffic. And that's why we do traffic and weather every 6 minutes in the mornings and traffic every 6 minutes on your ride home because they impact each other greatly. Well, actually, traffic doesn't impact weather. So you can't blame traffic for bad weather, but you can blame weather for bad traffic. Anyway, that's coming up at 7. And then some breaking news, scheduling-wise.
Where is
We just got the call, Chuck, out of the bullpen tomorrow in for Eric Von Hessler at 9 a.m. I know you'll be in early for me, right? You're going to come in and help me fill in for Von Hessler? No, you're not going to happen. Deb Green will be there.
Deb will be there.
Deb
I'll
will
be there.
there.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
She's
so
more
tomorrow.
than enough.
So if you didn't get enough of me 3 hours tonight, you're going to get a couple hours of me tomorrow morning and filling in for Von Hessler. I think some of the doctrinaires will be here though.
Yeah,
so
Tim Andrews will be here.
Tim will be here, and maybe Autumn.
I'm checking on Autumn.
Sexy Autumn Fisher via Skype or whatever. All right.
Via Skype.
Via Skype. All right. We'll come back. I got a wildlife story, and I want to hear yours. 30 minutes to go. The Mark Arum Show. 404-872-0750. Is that the right out time there? Yeah. All right. I'm way past it. We'll be right back after news, weather, and traffic. Welcome back to the show. 639, 56 soggy degrees on Peachtree Street. Mark Arum and the Bananas at your beck and call until 7 tonight. Then a special traffic show with Doug Turnbull, Smiley Mark McKay, and Veronica Hell talking about Georgia traffic and Georgia weather. Program you know will be on tomorrow, Deb and I anyway, at 9 a.m. filling in for Von Hessler. So make sure you check in with us after Atlanta's Morning News with Scott Slade. Real quick, so getting ready for the show. I'm all out of sorts filling in for Erickson. I love doing it, but I lose 2 hours of my main sleep, so I'm kind of in a daze. So I was out on the balcony just trying to, collect my thoughts before the show, and there was this rustling. You know the tree right outside the balcony there, the big tree? There's just, rustling in the tree, and I was like, it's probably squirrels messing around. And it was this big red-tailed hawk in one of the big bird's nests in the tree, obviously doing something nefarious in there, eating eggs or whatever, eating the chicks. And the squirrels were freaked out because this big hawk was there, and the hawk kills the squirrels. So they're jipping, I was like, what the hell's going on? So I took a little video, and I posted it on my Instagram story at Mark Arum if you want to check it out. And then as soon as I walked over there, the hawk took off, whatever. But he came back again later. It was crazy. It reminded me of once I was doing, I think it was the weekend show. I think this was before we did the regular show. And behind me, just to paint a picture of the palatial WSB radio studios, but behind me, my back faces out against the WSB courtyard, and there's there's 3 big picture windows behind me. Bulletproof glass, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Because of Neil Bortz. They installed bulletproof glass in these windows because of Neil Bortz. Anyway, because I don't think the river's got them, Deb. I don't think you have bulletproof.
That's nice to know. Thank
you.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there was I saw something catch something out of my eye, and I looked down there. It was a hawk again. This time he was killing a blue jay.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And that's not the crazy part of the story. The crazy part of the story was the Blue Jays' buddies, other Blue Jays, were dive bombing at the hawk to try to save their pal. It was the most touching, heart-wrenching kind of emotional thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was crazy. So as far as wildlife goes,
wagons.
I was rooting for the Blue Jays, but it's it's the circle of life.
Sure.
Hakuna Matata, the whole thing. But it was crazy. And I believe I did a play-by-play on the air. It probably wasn't the best radio, but I'm the hawk's gouging out his eye. Oh, here comes Frank. Dive bombing. I was naming them. It was heavy. I'm sure as a hunter, an experienced hunter from Montana, I think we need Montana music here, Jason. What's the craziest wildlife thing you've ever seen?
I saw an eagle, 2 things. I saw an eagle come down when we were floating the river once, take a fish out of the river.
Oh,
that was pretty
awesome.
Cool. Came flying in. It was very American. It was a bald eagle.
There's nothing more American than that.
And I was tracking a deer in the snow once, and some tracks came in from the side, and they were mountain lion tracks. And so I very quietly and slowly kept going, and when I crested over the hill, I could see it was a mule deer. I could see him walking through the snow, and about 100 yards behind him, there was that cat.
The mountain lion.
Walking real slow, and I was like, you have him, buddy. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not going to keep down this
Are you
road.
allowed to shoot mountain lions? Probably not,
you can.
right? You can, really?
Yeah, you have to get a tag. It takes a little bit. You don't get a ton of them, but you can get a mountain lion tag.
Wow, all right.
Yeah, so that was probably the two.
My second most crazy wildlife story, this was back in Connecticut, and it was during the winter. We don't have Connecticut music. So, I don't know what that would be. But I was walking Bosco in the woods behind my parents' house, and it's snowy, right? And we're following the tracks, and I kind of lose sight of Bosco, and she goes off to my right, and I turn around. Next thing I know, Bosco's eating rabbit poop. That was it. That's the end of the story. My Bosco loves eating rabbit poop. It tastes like M&Ms, apparently. Dogs.
Yeah, the dogs.
Those little pellets.
Yeah, they like them.
All right, so 404-872-0750. Real quick, we don't have much time. The craziest wildlife story you got. 404-872-0750. You got to beat Bosco eating rabbit poop, Chuck's mountain lion hunting a mule deer, or my eagle eating a blue jay. Or hawk eating a blue jay. Those are the top 3. 404-872-0750. Traffic updates every 6 minutes for your ride home. Smiley Mark McKay. Thanks, Smiley. All right, while Chuck screens the calls on your wildlife story, Deb Green, I'm getting married 200 days from today, and you sent me a list of things that I probably shouldn't have read 200 days from my wedding date. The most What is the headline on this story?
Things married people miss most about being single.
All right. So what are the things that married
You're still
people?
Single?
I am still single. Well, I'm betrothed.
Right.
What do married people miss most about being single?
All right. We'll start at the bottom. So the least one, I guess, is that new love feeling. So when you meet someone new and you get excited about it.
Sure, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. You get all tingly.
I could live without that. I've had.
Because that's how you feel every day with Maya, right?
Exactly right, Deb Green. Yes, every single day.
All right. So next is being courted by someone. So I guess the thrill of the chase, right?
Well, that's mostly I've never been courted in my life.
Oh.
I'm always the one doing the courting.
Or courting something. It's the same right there.
Yeah.
But.
Courting can be exhausting. I mean, it's an exhausting thing to court a lady.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
I don't think I've
very
ever
tiresome.
Been courted.
You've been courted many times, my friend.
All right.
All right. What else?
Making decisions on your own. I don't know about that. You make decisions on your own.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some decisions that have to be mutual now. Once you're married, right? Financial decisions, et cetera, et cetera.
All
okay.
Right. And then spending money the way you want yourself.
I will continue to do that.
Yeah, I don't have that problem with my husband. As long as our bills are paid, then he can buy whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And that's how I am
yeah,
too.
I'm not gonna worry about that.
All right. Always picking the restaurant. Is that an issue with you guys?
Rarely. We have, similar culinary tastes. Once in a while, I'll be like, no, let's do something else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're pretty simpatico on that.
Okay. How about decorating your own space? Does she have pictures up?
She wants to decorate my space, and I would let her.
Once you're married.
Well, she can do it now if she wants.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's my house is a mess. And that's her, not her fault. That's my fault. She moved into a messy pad, a bachelor pad. All right, interesting. We'll come back and give you some more. All right, you got some wildlife stories? Oh, we got a bunch of them. We got to be quick. All right, we'll come back on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Arum. If you want to see my hawk experience, you can check out my Instagram story, MarkArum. It's the Mark Arum Show. Back after this. Final segment of the show, and then a little traffic show with Smiling Doug Turnbull and Veronica Earl. Give me your wildlife story. Richard's up on the program. Richard, what do you have?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Excellent, brother. What's going on?
I used to live in South Florida, down there by the Everglades.
Yeah.
And there was a news crew out there in the middle of nowhere, so about 4 or 5 of us went over there to see what was going on. And there was a lady doing a news story about the Burmese python taking over the Everglades.
Oh, yeah.
And it couldn't have been better timing. Exactly when she said these predators don't have any known predators. These snakes don't have any known predators. Right when she said that, a big old red-tailed hawk swooped down and grabbed the snake and flew off with it.
That's amazing. Why were you living down there? That's crazy land down there in the Everglades.
Oh, I was building those aluminum street enclosures down there and partying every weekend.
That would have been my first guess. The Everglades, that's prehistoric down there. Prehistoric stuff. Gary's up on the Mark Arum Show. Gary, give me your best wildlife story, buddy.
Hey, Mark. How you doing this evening?
Excellent. What's cooking?
Not much. I was deer hunting down in South Georgia. That's where I hunt a couple of years ago, and I was hunting in a box stand on about a half-acre food plot surrounded by planted pines, and a commotion down at the far end of the food plot, and I got my binoculars and looked, and it must have been a Cooper's hawk, I guess, had a crow on the ground, and they were just fighting and scrapping, and like the blue jays, there must have been a dozen crows in the trees, and they would swoop down and bite at the hawk, trying to get him to let go of the crow, but the hawk would not relent.
Well, crows are tough birds too. They are. Yeah, and I felt so bad for the blue jay. I mean, it was heartwarming that his buddies were trying to save him, but I mean, that hawk was not giving up. It was like Longoria with empanadas. He was not letting go of the
Whataburger.
A Whataburger. He was not letting go of the what? I missed that guy. No offense, Jason. I love you too, but Scott, what's your wildlife story? Scotty.
Hey, we used to go down to Florida, swim with the manatee all the time. Last time we went, they were being real frisky as soon as we got on the water, so we jumped in with them. They're flopping all around, running into us, and eventually throughout the day, one came up and started hugging my daughter.
No
come
way.
To find out, they were all in mating mode, and
he was mating with your daughter. I saw a manatee last April. Maya and I went down to Pasagrille Beach, St. Petersburg, and there were manatee. It was pretty cool. Sea cows, as we call them. Don't call don't call a female a sea cow. No, we got to do star of the show. I'm sorry, Jason. I know I screwed that up. There we go. Thank you, buddy. Because I'm officially ending now.
Are you guys ready
And then,
for the Mark Arum star of the show?
Come on, whatever. I'm not getting star of the show. You three guys get one. Deb, Loti, and Jason Byers get star of the show. Real quick, Al, 5-second wildlife story, Al.
I had a mountain lion for a pet in East Cobb. Had a girlfriend over watching the Braves game in my bed, and the cat was in the attic, fell through the sheetrock and onto her lap.
The mountain lion fell on the cougar, and that was the end of the story.
That's correct.
Thanks, Al. I'm on tomorrow morning for Von Hessler, 9 a.m. We'll see you then. News, weather, and traffic next.